Taking the time, I appreciate it. I guess, how would you describe the moment we're in as it regards the case of 18-year-old Ryan Hinton in general terms, if you could?
How would I describe the moment that we're in general terms around Ryan Hinton? Oh, Jay, you know, I'm a mother, and I am a grandmother of an 18-year-old black boy. I have 3 other grandsons. I have 3 adult sons and a husband. I have nephews, brothers, and a host of black male friends. When you have violence in the community, whether it is community on community or police violence, it is extremely traumatizing when it is violence from the systems that you pay to protect and serve you. It is overwhelmingly horrific when you see a life at 18 taken. It is, as a mother, a place you never would want to be. And as a grandmother, a place you would never want to have to heal your child because they lost a child. And Jay, I think that is why the work of the collaborative agreement in this moment is so critical, because all of those emotions are just right here. And all of those emotions we've seen time and time and time again. And so for me, as a mother and a grandmother, and a lover of my people, a pillar of change, a force that knows we have to change these systems in order to get rest and in order to live productively, in order to relieve people of the fear of the people that they pay to protect and serve them. You can't describe it. It's undescribable. I'm not a mother who has lost a child in this manner, but I did lose a cousin in this manner while working on a system in the city of Cincinnati to change so we wouldn't have this happen again. And that was from UCPD. It's Kelly Brinson. And so all of that just is a bubbling tsunami, not just in your mind, but in your heart and your soul. So for me, Jay, it is this work that is so critical right now to hold all accountable. And I have to get in this lane so that we can see, how do we prevent this again? To ensure that the protocols that were put in place were adhered to assure the families, that there's something here to have checks and balances and to hold people accountable. And so this is where you will see us activate. This is where you'll hear my voice around not just the release of the body cam footage, but within a certain amount of time. Not just having conversations with the community, but within a certain time frame. Ensuring that the family sees the body-worn camera footage before anyone else. That's treating people in a humane way in which they've lost a child in the most horrific way possible. And so as we all flow through this, for us, it is this work that gives us the opportunity to continue to fight. We have sent our love and condolences to the Hinton family. We've sent our love and condolences to the Henderson family. We are now trying to ensure that those protocols and the ones that will come up as these investigations go forward are adhered to. We're leaning into right now, Jay, CCA's investigation. We're leaning into the CPD's internal investigation and into the prosecutor's investigation. Those three investigations are concurrently going on. We've made 5 recommendations to the city manager and the administration on what we believe should happen next. And because of those 5 recommendations, we're waiting on the results of that. The city manager is moving on all of them. We will today have a conversation with the chief, part of our way that we do things here in the Cincinnati, birthed out of our collaborative agreement. We will have a conversation with the chief today. And we are clear about there's only so much she can say. But these processes that are in place, she can speak to. She can speak to what she's already talked about, and she can hear from communities so that they can begin to understand how they move forward. The last thing I want to say to you, Jay, is that I've been given the opportunity by the city manager to create a special managers advisory group around this particular case so that community can see it right now, and as things are released, help make more recommendations to the city administration to what they want to see CPD do. Now, we just have Cincinnati Police Department that we are in collaboration with. You still have the prosecutors and you still have the courts. You have judges, you have attorneys. All of these systems need to be watched to ensure that fairness and equity is in every part of every step of this. That's what the collaborative agreement gives you through the city administration to the police department. We will be 25 years old next year, Jay. 25 years. This has been 25 years of my life, not just every other day, but every single day. Policing is the past. We rode into federal court in 2001 with a 30-year history of police and the Black community. We collected over 400 stories from Black people in the city to get the temperament of the day. We took those stories and we turned that into our foundation for a federal lawsuit. Now, the collaborative did many things. It settled those outside cases, 14 of them, took our federal lawsuit in the ACLU through the Sixth Circuit Federal Court and turned that into an agreement of moving forward, of changing how policing is done philosophically, through training, through pay. We've even been able to change the FOP contract. So we have been consistently doing work. We've not stopped. And, Jay, this is continuous improvement. It never stops. The other part that the collaborative gives us in paragraph 13, the 3 reasons that we filed our federal lawsuit in 2001 was the necessities of the cases of that day. Now remember, we were 2 and 24, Roger Owensby Jr. and Jeffrey Irons, and that was in November of 2000. We were in federal court in March of 2001, and our dear brother Timothy Thomas was killed in April. We thought we were stopping that then. We've then had others that have been shot and killed by police. We've then had more protocols and procedures put in place. We follow every case that's across the nation. We do, CBUF, to ensure that there's no opportunity for what happened someplace else to happen here. When Breonna Taylor was killed in Louisville, Kentucky, we went through all of our no-knock warrant and warrant protocols with our partners from the Black Lawyers Association, Children's Law Center, Urban League, the NAACP. We all went through these cases, Ohio Justice and Policy Center, these procedures to ensure fairness and equity. And where we could make change, there were some changes so that we wouldn't see that type of violence in our community. And so, and while it is dark for my city right now, and in particular for people who look like me, and for even more focused in and leaning in on Black young adults Black males. And so it's on us to continue to fight for change. And that's what we will do. And that's what we're currently doing. And that's why we report out to the community if things are not followed and when things are followed, and to ensure that they have a voice in this process.
Today, the coroner's office was supposed to have a press conference to detail some of the, to give details about Ryan Hinton's autopsy. That was canceled because they said they were subpoenaed by who. We don't know explicitly. We can make assumptions, but we don't know explicitly. But and the implications there they were subpoenaed gives us the thought that this is potentially going to a grand jury. If this case is being presented to a grand jury, what is the significance of that, if that is in fact what's happening?
That's very significant. That means that the facts of the matter has prompted the prosecutor to take it a step further. That's exactly what that means.
Usually you see, and this has been some of the questioning, usually a prosecutor makes a decision, themselves to prosecute a case or not, and then they announce it and they move on. But in this instance, it appears that's not what's happening. It's for lack of a better phrase, they're getting more eyes on it to make that final recommendation. What do you think that says?
I think it speaks to, and I don't know because I've not heard directly, although I did call the prosecutor's office to one. I thought that the prosecutor was having a 4 o'clock press conference, so I wanted to make sure that our times didn't conflict, and I was assured that that didn't happen. The subpoena was issued by the prosecutor's office to the coroner, as I was told today, because we were waiting on that information as well. So I think it just speaks to that, and I'm not in the prosecutor's office, so I don't know. But one would assume that there's a lot more that we don't know than that we do know, and that a careful and very thorough investigation is occurring. And that was our 5th demand on our list of things that we asked for, is that the prosecutor do a fair and charging and looking at all the evidence and be fair about it.
You mentioned those 5 recommendations you get to the city manager. Can you share those?
I sure can, and I knew you would ask. So I'm going to talk while I pulled them up. Okay. Jay, because the first one was that we wanted to ensure that all of the protocols from the collaborative were adhered to. That was our first one. And I'm going to read them to you. Do you mind? And then I'll send it to you.
That's fine.
CBUF expects full and timely compliance with the collaborative agreement's investigative protocols regarding the shooting of Ryan Hinton. Our second recommendation is CBUF expects a parallel investigation by the Cincinnati Citizens Complaint Authority, CCA, to proceed concurrently with criminal and internal investigations. 3, the city owns a Leica 360 mapping camera. Now, I may be saying it wrong, LEICA, camera and software. CBUF recommends that the CCA conduct a Leica 360 analysis of the scene, including the perspectives of each officer present, the visual line to Mr. Hinton, the timeline of any release of a firearm found at the scene, and a reconstruction of Mr. Hinton's movements. 4, CBUF recommends that the CCA retain an independent expert to conduct an additional review of all relevant body cameras and other available footage. This analysis should determine whether the officer could reasonably have perceived a deadly threat. A thorough forensic review and interviews with all witnesses are essential. Our last and final recommendation, and this is to the prosecutor's office, Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. CBUF urges Hamilton County Prosecutor Connie Pillage to faithfully review all evidence and make charging decisions that are both appropriate and just. Those are just our recommendations right now as we proceed through this process. And our lens is focused on the process. The collaborative created lots of processes for not just the police to follow, but the community as well, and other systems can certainly use Sarah and how they see a problem. However, right now, this is where we are, and this is where we're leaning into. And Jay, you know, before 2004, we didn't get to see body-worn camera footage. We didn't have these things where communities can see right now. We didn't get to have press conferences to get information, to be able to make informed decisions. And then a fuller one in 2 days. We didn't have in place where the families got to see the footage of their loved one before anybody else. So these are the things that have been adhered to. And also, we didn't get to have the opportunity and ability to speak to the chief, the person at the top in charge, to address the community. So we have these things in place through the collaborative, and there are other things that we want to ensure that are occurring, and we will be here for that.
Definitely, and Alex, that's what's happening later today.
Yes.
That point of having the head person in charge speak directly to the community, and
Yes.
you know, in the capacity that they can.
Yes.
I did a conversation, talked to a few black men in the barbershop a couple weeks ago. The big sense that I got from that conversation, talked to one gentleman who has parents in law enforcement, black guy barber. Talked to one guy, Life Allah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Talked to him, if you're familiar with him. And I talked to another gentleman, UC student. And the general sense was, we don't know what we don't know about the Ryan Hinton case. But you also got from that conversation a real sense of distrust for police. And this situation sparked a visceral, emotional response. We saw about 20 seconds or so, if that, of body camera footage that they've released publicly, and that's all they've shown us publicly. We've requested all things, but obviously an ongoing investigation. But even at 20 seconds, they see the moment when Mr. Hinton is shot, and he's going into like a wooded area. He's running, and it appears he's running, and he's shot. His legs go up limp in the air, and it's a visual or emotional reaction, which they say essentially highlights their distrust for police, because they say they can't physically see where he had a gun. Through this process, and because it's collaborative group, what is the message? You kind of were referencing it, but what's the message to black men that see themselves in that 18-year-old Ryan Hinton?
The message to them is that there are those of us that are here fighting to protect you. That there are those of us who've been fighting to protect you. And that while there are no 100% safeguards from violence, whether it's police or community, this process that has been in place and that came out of death is attempting to address all of that. The collaborative agreement looks at the entire police department, from training to risk management to pay, all of it. And sometimes outliers make it through. Sometimes there are bad people in position. There are people in position that can take a life, but there's also the opportunity for us to work hand in hand to stop it. And there's also the opportunity for us and that 18-year-old to collectively come together and ensure that there's equity throughout the system. This is just one part. We still need to ensure that the courts and prosecutors and alike do their part. And so for those 18-year-olds who want to know more about what it is, and we need to hear from them, I say, please get in contact with me, because there is a lot of work to be done. And let's make these changes together, so that they can ensure the 17-year-olds and the 16-year-olds behind them that they will be safe too. So that is what I can say today, Jay. And I welcome it. And I just, that is always at the pit of my stomach. How do I let my babies know, whether I birth them or not, that they should be safe and their lives value, and they matter to those of us who are fighting now. But please come and join the fight. Please make sure you register to vote. Please make sure you understand the issues. Please make sure you are engaging, so that you, when you are in this space, and the same question is going to be asked of you, that you're doing all you can at the greatest extent feasible, and that you are pulling some more in to continue the struggle and the fight. That's what I would say. And that we love them. This is the hardest part of this, the fallout, the residuals. And then to hear young black men, and I've had a gazillion conversation. As I said, I have 3 sons. And I'm Iris Roley, and so not everyone agrees with what I'm doing. So that's a double negative. So, but please come and join us. You can reach out to me at 513-800-6925. We're doing a lot. We're trying to, work with our young folk and hold on to these provisions of the collaborative agreement while pouring more into that cup. So we need y'all. We need y'all.
After tonight, you have the conversation. People get their questions answered. What's next? Or do we know what's next?
Well, we do know that the investigations are concurrently going on, so people won't get answers because of the investigations. What you'll probably hear from the chief, and I can't speak to it 100, is probably the things that she said. And she's fulfilling her promises to these protocols that we put in place to talk to the communities. So what's next is that we follow them appropriately. The other thing that I want to say to you, Jay, is that there were 3 other young black males in the car, and we need to ensure that their pathway through this judicial system is fair and equitable as well, and that they're not being made, the scapegoat of something that happened that they had nothing to do with. So there's a lot to follow. It's a lot to watch. I'm certain that the family will do its own investigation. So between all of these people, just be patient, and hopefully we get to the truth. And then for us in the Black United Front, as I said, if you want to join, and I would love to have those young men on the special mag so they can review it and see how things are done, because it's not just that incident, but it's the processes that lead up to it, and then the processes that come from it.
Definitely. Is there anything else that I didn't actually say or mention that you want to say or make known?
I don't know, Jay, it's rough. Again, when you think about it, and you think about the impact of so many lives, and the residuals in the community, and those who are impacted across the country who have been impacted by this level of violence, it's very difficult. So I want us to follow the processes as we're leaning in to the investigations and leaning into our recommendations that we made to the city, and continuing to do the work that we do in the communities, taking care of our babies, feeding them, doing the work until school ends. So it's just our world. This is the Black life.
The tension seems to be building. It appears to be building, and the concern with the thing is, hey, tension is there, it's building. Nothing really you can do about it because the events have already unfolded. But how do you prevent the tension from getting to a point where it leads to more violence.
I think that's on all of us. I think the tension is a result of what has happened. And so I think that's on all of us. And I think it's somewhat unfair to ask victims to not have the tension and not ask the people who cause the tension, what are you going to do so we don't have this tension anymore? And what is your commitment to change so that there is not this tension any longer? I mean, it's human to have this tension, especially if you've experienced this level of violence. It's human. It's not human. And so oftentimes people will say, Iris, what are you angry about? And I'll typically tell people I'm still angry about enslavement. But I'm angry that we have to do this again. I'm angry that a life is lost. I'm angry that another life is gone. I'm angry that children won't have a father and grandchildren won't have a grandfather. I'm angry. I'm very angry that a life has not been lived. But I still need to see through these processes. And so I have to give myself some grace. And I need my people to give themselves some grace. And let's watch these investigations and get to the truth. And then let's get to work.
This is unrelated but also related in my view. You're talking about feeding people 3 days a week and make sure people have resources. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday at for the summer plan to prevent youth violence. You talked about how doing those things shows young people that they don't have to commit crimes to get the bare necessities that they need. And I think a part of the story that has been missed or underreported, and that's an opinion of mine, underreported, is that, Mr. Hinton, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, don't necessarily know the circumstances of what was going on with the alleged stolen car, but to be in that type of position, I'm trying to best verbalize this, we haven't yet learned about what life was like to get him to that point, or to get him around the quote-unquote wrong crowd, as we often say. Don't know if there's a question in there, but I guess I'm asking you to speak to that underreported part of why potentially he was there in the first place. Not victim blaming, but in the sense of what, as a community, it takes a village, they say, are we not doing enough of to better cultivate a young man like Mr. Hinton that had so much potential?
Jay, society let Ryan down. If what we're hearing that Ryan was a student at Dawn's doors are closed. They closed on hundreds of kids.
Weeks before, yeah.
Yeah, who are supposed to be in school and being educated. Society has let Ryan down because, like many other young black males, not just in Cincinnati, will tell you there's nothing for them to do. There's nowhere for them to go. No one wants them here. We even see when schools close their doors, get off the grounds. Even as you engage students at Government Square, and I've interviewed many of them, because I asked them, why are you here? Why do you hang down? There's nothing to do in my community. I feel safer because there are tons of police. And there's a lot of things that are happening downtown, unlike that's not happening in their neighborhoods. Now, while people can say, oh, Iris, they can go to the rec center, yes, they can. And the city is pushing. In that press conference that we both were in, all the programming that I've heard, all the pools will be open, the parks will be open, rec centers will be open, programming, skating, all of these things. It's still open for us as a community to ensure that our children are safe and to demand that there is equity in resources in communities and to demand that education is top tier and to demand the best from parenting for our children. So when you ask that question, part of problem solving is looking at how do you really see the problem? And so for young folk like Ryan, who probably was hanging out, we don't know if the alleged car was that he knew was stolen. We don't know that. He's not here to tell us. And if that was the case, is that a reason to die? I can tell you that it's hard for young girls to get period products. I can tell you that the cost is tremendous. I can tell you that there are upwards to 4,000 kids inside of CPS that are homeless. I can tell you the poverty rate for Black children in this town. I can tell you that food insecurity is the #1 issue that we just got reported back from our health violence preventers. When they talk to people who've come into these hospitals about what's the #1 issue, it's food insecurity. We just talked about, you seen the sign in my office about being in Memphis. Black children in Memphis live 33% higher in poverty than the nation's average. What do we expect people to do, Jay? So it's not victim blaming, it's system blaming and system shaming, because these are the things that we've been fighting for forever to change for a group of people. And it only continues to get worse and worse and worse. Now, what do you see hyped in music and videos that these young Black men don't own? They come from these corporations and that are pumped into their heads and not met by a quality education or a thriving, flourishing community. So there's a lot that we can unpack and talk about, Jay. But I don't want us to do that to Ryan. I don't want us to reduce him down to a stolen car.
Definitely not, no.
I do not. And I don't know the circumstances of why he was in that car. I don't know why the circumstances of gun, but I know that the access to gun is quadruply easier than it was in 2001. I know the state has made it easy to get guns and they flow. There are no rules and regulations in these gun shows. And we don't want to have those conversations, Jay. Why do we make it easy for children to get guns? That's on adults. And then when we look and we say, well, why did Ryan have it? Well, because he can get it. You can get a gun quicker than you can get a bologna sandwich. And I don't eat bologna. They don't even sell food in most communities. And we don't have grocery stores. Food deserts are real. In the 3rd decade of the 21st century. And it's about to be realer based on what National is doing. This thing is going to hit us in a way that we've never seen before. So we're asking now, and we know what the problems are. Anyone that's in this field of studying crime can tell you the contributors, the factors. You look at the crime triangle. If you ask the chief, any of the police, what are the contributing factors, they will tell you. That's why it is of order of the day for police to know these things. So it teaches you how to police one, how to see one. This is why the city has moved to the community responders, alternatives response to crisis, meaning removing police from situations where they don't have to be. It saves the city, saves people, saves police. That's why you see all these changes that have been made over the past 25 years. So we can do this thing differently, because Black lives do matter. But it's these other systems that we need to focus on too, Jay. Serious. Housing. Come on. It's a huge fight. A housing that's affordable to people like me and people like Ryan's parents, and even to Ryan. So you ask these questions, why was he there? Maybe society didn't offer him a better way. Maybe he didn't see that path that's out there for so many.
Definitely. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.